Today I want to talk about a software company which is quite impressive. It's called Monday.com. They have a software to help companies to organize better their workflow and especially teamwork and make it faster, make it better, make it more efficient. And really large companies are buying their products and they have over 225 customers, 225,000. For example, BMW, Bauer Media, Uber, Coca-Cola, Bayer, AXA, Software AG from Germany. Lots of also German companies, European companies, but mostly have a lot in the US and it's growing massively, 30%. They have revenue growth of 30% and it's quite impressive. So I speak from time to time with the CFO Eliran Glazer, and I spoke with him recently again. And take a look. I have nothing to do with them. It's just quite impressive for me to see such a growth company. I don't own the stock, but I really like the story because they are profitable. They are growing like really in a difficult time, even in a difficult time right now, impressively. And it seems like the software helps a lot their customers, and they have a lot of customers paying them more than $50,000 a year to use it, and over 2,000 companies pay them that much. And they built out the company, and the founders are really invested with one owns 11%, the other founder owns 4.2%. So it's quite an investment, and they have an interest, of course, themselves to build out the company, make them stronger, make them better. Lots of cash they have, over $1 billion, lots of cash flow. They're based in Tel Aviv. Take a look, and I really think it's impressive. The only thing is they have a high valuation, 13 times revenue. Seems a little bit high, but it's also impressive what they are delivering. And $1.3 billion cash is really impressive. No debt, and let's see what will happen in the next couple of years. I think there will be it will be a great performer if they deliver the growth rate. And take a look at my interview.
Yeah, congratulations to your second quarter. This was you grew really strongly with roughly 30%, and you are profitable based on US GAAP. That is amazing turnaround. I think 3 years after your IPO going to Nasdaq, to the Nasdaq market, you are profitable, and you have a cash of over $1 billion, which is quite impressive. And you are generating free cash flow additionally on top of it. And what is your plan with the cash?
Sure. So Tim, great to meet again first. So we are thinking about three main areas of investment with cash. As we presented, by the way, in the Investor Day that we did in December 2023 in New York. So one is to continue to invest in the business, in the platform, in the products, and hiring people globally. Second thing is we're thinking about potentially M&As in the near future. So in the next 12 to 24 months, we would like to engage with acquisition. It's not going to be a big acquisition. It's going to be not a revenue or customers, but more, complementary products that might, be part of our product roadmap. Talent potentially, hiring. So these are the things that we consider potentially buying in the world of CRM, in the world of work management, portfolio management, resource allocation, etc. And we hired a corp dev manager about a quarter ago, and he's now doing the groundwork to collect the data, to map the industry, sourcing, etc. And the third thing is on the longer term, we potentially consider return to shareholders. It can be in the form of a buyback of shares or potentially something else. But this is more down the road. We definitely have a lot of cash, and we would like to see it working.
Yeah, great. And in regards to a deal, what is your goal? What is your like target? How much would you spend on a deal? Like, is there some limit to it or?
Yeah, I would say it's probably the ballpark is millions to tens of millions of dollars. I would say probably, dozens of millions of dollars. Again, it's not going to be a big acquisition. Potentially, look, there might be a case where we have this huge opportunity with a company that might cost us, say, $50 million, $70 million, which is something that we believe can add a lot of synergy and take us to, potentially the next level as we continue to grow the business. But currently, we're seeing more in the areas of millions to tens of millions of dollars.
Okay, great. And so your balance sheet stays after a deal strong and yeah. Okay, how is it possible to grow 30% plus in a difficult environment?
Yeah, Tim, this is a great question. I think this is probably the third time we're speaking. And, when we first met, I told you about the playbook of Monday. And when we went public, even before that, we were thinking about sustainable growth, not growth at all cost. And the way we do it is we're looking at, the market that we are operating in. We're servicing all the segments from SMB to mid-market to enterprise. We have, at the end of last year, 225,000 customers across 200 industries, across also 200 geographies and territories. So, we have a very large and diversified customer base. And what we do is basically continue to penetrate within this customer base, either by way of cross-selling. If we sold work management, we can sell CRM, either by selling new products that we introduce to the market, like CRM, like Dev, and growing up market with, big customers. So in previous quarter, we announced that we have a 25,000 seats contract. In this quarter, we announced that we have 80,000 seats contract. I think the strength of Monday, a company that is measuring everything, is that we measure the return on our investment. If you remember, I spoke of a system called Big Brain that we have in Monday. It's a BI system that measures every campaign that we are doing. So in terms of performance marketing, when we spend the money, we look at the return that we are getting, and we continue the PLG motion with an SLG motion. And so to summarize, a large and diversified customer base, a multi-product platform, Big Brain that measures everything that we are doing, and the fact that we continue to look for opportunities within existing customer base.
Yeah. Can you double the customer numbers? Is that possible?
I think that at this level, at this scale, with 225,000 customers, this is, I think, best in class to companies like us. I would say that probably the growth rate is going to be single high digits, because what we want to do is we're only scratching the surface in terms of our penetration within these customers. We have more than 60% of our customers are Fortune 500, and we are only servicing in most of them thousands of seats. So our thinking is to expand within this existing customer base rather than continue to bring the same numbers that we used to bring in the past. And I think this is part of evolution of Monday and continue to grow the business.
Yeah. What is AI? Do you use that? Is there a potential using artificial intelligence within the software more than ever, or?
Yes. So Monday is a productivity company. In the end of the day, we manage the core of work in each organization that we operate in. And for us, as a software that provides features and functionalities, to drive, amongst other things, productivity, adding AI capabilities or generative AI is something that can be very useful. I will give an example. What we do, for example, we have an AI assistant. So you are now building a new board. You joined Monday and you want to build a board of Monday. Rather than starting from scratch, you have like an AI model that asks you a few questions: what industry, how many users, what type of board do you want? You kind of onboard the data and you get a board from scratch. this is one thing. You can have a formula builder because many of the boards that we are doing is a very complex boards and you need all kinds of formulas if this is a financial board. So, again, few questions that the AI generator will ask you and, we'll do like a formula builder. Automation of processes can be by using AI. I will give an example. If you have a CRM solution that you bought from Monday, there are a lot of things. You get an email from customers, or you get an email from someone who has intent to buy. Then you want to know to what group in the organization you should categorize it. What level of importance? Is it important? Is it urgent? Is it not very important? So there is like a manual process in order for you to do it. We now have an AI machine that once you get the email, it will kind of categorize. It will go through the language of the words of the email, and will categorize it automatically to the right group, to the right team, and will attach to it the level of importance. So, as a company that assists customers to digitize and automate their workflows, we're using AI to kind of bring compounded extra power to do these processes.
Yeah, excellent. And in regards to the turnaround, so you are profitable now. Does it stay the next couple quarters too? You will be profitable?
Yes. So we're going to continue to be profitable. So we said, while we focus on top line, it's important for us to continue to maintain a profitable company with a positive free cash flow. We reached the last quarter was 16%. So what we said when we did the investor day is we're going to be potentially might be slightly below the 16% going into the future. We said in the presentation that we might be single high digits, but we are going to continue to be profitable because we have an opportunity now. And we believe this is the right time to invest. We are taking market share from other players in the market. And while we continue to bring more customer top of funnel and additional enterprise, we will continue to generate profitability and free cash flow.
Yeah. So who do you take market share from? Like who are other competitors? Like you are, I don't know, like which one is, for example, one you take a lot?
Yeah. So we are a multi-product company.
Yeah.
So we are competing on different verticals. So if you think about work management, you have Smartsheet, you have Asana, you have ClickUp that are competing with us. So they are kind of the names that you see there. In the world of CRM, usually we will see HubSpot, Zoho, Pipedrive. These are the names that we mostly see. Monday. And in the world of dev, obviously the leader there is Jira, Atlassian. So we are also competing with them. The interesting part is that with CRM, for example, although we introduced the product a year and a half ago, if you think about the Magic Quadrant of Gartner, we became like one of the top companies in the kind of the top right box. So this is the way we kind of continue to progress up market and with competition as well.
Yeah. What is with SAP? Does it make sense to work together with them as well, or?
So we don't really see SAP or, for now. I don't know that we see them in deals. Maybe, in the future, but currently I'm not aware that we see them but to have a cooperation with them or integration with them, obviously, this is something that can happen.
Yeah, is there more potential with larger customers like Salesforce or SAP? Is there potential to work together and integrate it, your software?
Yeah, sure. I think that Monday, one of the unique things for Monday is the easy integration kind of API mechanism that we have, which allows us to integrate with the largest companies out there. If you think about Google, if you think about Microsoft, Salesforce, and others, definitely there is a room for more integrations with the big giants out there.
Yeah. Are you talking to big giants or not actively right now, or is it always in progress?
No, so it's always a work in progress as we continue to evolve and scale. I will give an example. So one of the things that we are doing is we expand globally, even opening additional offices. I can tell you that we said it to the market last year that we would like to continue to grow our headcount. So last year we finished with 1,850 employees, and we would like to grow in 2024 30% of that. But we're also thinking about growing outside of where we are today. So, for example, Europe, we're thinking about France, about Germany. We don't yet have a concrete plan when it's going to happen, but definitely I can share with you that we're thinking about moving to other territories in Europe. And I think when you go into these territories, you also get to know companies that operate there through partnerships, through the salespeople, and definitely there is a room for additional cooperation and integrations.
Oh, okay, great. And so other co countries you would add probably then this or next year, right? Hmm. With
Yeah, I would
offices.
say that, I think that next year is going to be, as part of our expansion, plans. We will provide update as soon as we have concrete information to share, but
Yeah.
definitely we're thinking about expanding in other territories in Europe. And Germany, as we speak, is one of the most interesting places for us as the business is growing really well, and we have
Yeah.
a lot of staff there.
How do you start opening an office? How much staff do you have from get-go? Then you need 30 or is it much more
No,
staff?
usually you start with, so because now we have a headquarter in Israel, we have an headquarter in New York, we have an headquarter in London, we have a, sales office, about 100 employees in Sydney, Australia, and, we operate also in other places with small offices in Asia Pacific. Usually we start to build the office around the sales organization. So you would hire sales reps, I would say maybe 10, 20. You will
Mhm.
start with this, have a managerial position there, and then, mostly around sales, maybe marketing, and then maybe some support functions. But then you start to build the business support functions. So if they need a payroll person or they need a legal person, but this comes later. Usually it would be sales or CRO related, sales, partners, customer success, customer support, and potentially marketing. This would be the front office people that usually would be the first kind of employees that we are going to hire.
Oh, cool. Interesting. So your stock price improved and which is great and there's a nice momentum. But if you have like a value investor, he would say, wow, they have a high multiple, PE is high, multiple revenue is high. So how would you describe it or how would you talk to them? Like if some investor would say, that's an interesting turnaround story, they're profitable, it's great to be a software company. The cash flow is really great, and but the evaluation is kind of on the higher side.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question. So I think if you think about Monday, the evolution of Monday as a company, so 3.5 years ago, Tim, when everyone went public, multiples were 20, sometimes 30. Even like companies think about Snowflake used to be like 40, and even other companies. And I think over time, definitely in the last 2 years, with the micro economy challenges, investors learn to value companies that deliver on their promises and demonstrate that they continue to grow. Although we are have a nice valuation around 13.5 billion, I think, as we speak now. If you take the cash out, say $12 billion, with next 12-month assumptions to be 20% of where we are today, let's say, if we said that we're going to finish the year with $950 million, so take around, I don't know what the assumptions of the analyst, but if they think we're going to be at 1.2 billion, then you have a multiple of 10.
Yeah,
So at this valuation, 10 is still, although it's a nice valuation, you can see that the best-in-class company is basically now around 11, 12 to 15, 16. So yeah, we are relatively on the high end, but I think we demonstrate that we know how to execute, and we one of the solid companies out there. So
yeah,
the decision where to put the money, obviously, investor will take this into consideration.
yeah, yeah. So it's a revenue multiple of 10 roughly for the next year, what you said.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
how open would be like the market that is moving? How open would be the founders and you have some main shareholders? If you would get a great offer, would they be open to sell the company or is it a long-term story for them?
it's a
What
long-term
have
story
they?
for them. I think
Okay.
they would like to build the biggest company ever that came out of Israel. You know, and we have big dreams. We want to be a $10 billion company. I don't know to tell you when this is happening, but if you think about companies like ServiceNow, this is the model.
Yeah. So what is the goal of the founders to be a what kind of a company like in market cap then?
So they would probably want to be, so obviously this
Yeah.
is a big dream, but we want to be $100
100.
billion in market cap. You know, if you take $1 billion in sales and you take a multiple of 10, then 100 billion. But yeah, we would like the business to continue to grow and you
Oh,
know, we
okay,
dream
great.
big.
Yeah, software is a good industry to be in. I think it's because of the steady cash flows, right? And the
Yeah.
bigger you get, you can scale it nicely, I think.
Yeah, and I think, look, and I think there is a lot of, not a lot, but there is a change in the mindset of investors and how the market perceive you as a company. I think, you know, there were many companies out there that went public, but I think there are now few that delivered on their promises. And, you know, there are many names that were not as successful in delivering on what was the expectations from them. So I think investors turns to be now more picky and more selective, and they will probably take one of, you know, companies that consider to be best in class. And I think we are currently one of these companies.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, your growth rate is not often to be seen, 30% right now. Yeah. And yeah, so can you keep that 30% for a while or is it difficult? I mean, for the next couple of years, it's probably because the base gets bigger and bigger, what you already said about the customer base, right? It's so at some point it's difficult, right?
Yeah, it's a fair question, and this is what we did when we did the Investor Day. Again, I go back to that in December of 2023 in New York. So we presented the 3 years scenario, and we said, look, we presented from 2024 to 2026. We presented 3 scenarios: low case, base case, and high case. In the base case, we said all of these cases are dependent on the macroeconomy mostly, and you know, NRR. And we said that we believe that we can go high 20s, low 30s, let's say an average of 30% or a ballpark of 30%, if the market condition will continue as is or slightly get better. So yeah, I think that by 2026, you know, the next 2 years, this is something that we inspire to do, but it's also dependent on things that we don't have control. But the plan is, yeah, to be high 20s at least, and low 30s potentially. This is the average.
Wow, okay. And the economy, do you see any impact on your business? It's slowing down, people say, I don't know, in some areas.
Yeah, so I think that the economy has, you know, changed, you know, from where it was 2 years ago, as we live already in the crisis for 2 years. It's still choppy markets. You know, many companies say that they have a challenge in bringing SMB customers and top of funnel, as well as selling to customers because customers are more cautious on their spend. Sales processes are tending to be longer. They bring more decision makers. So I would say this is the current situation. I don't think it got any worse in the next, I would say, a few quarters, but it doesn't get any better. So I would say that we still expecting to have the economy continue as is. Although, you know, you see that some companies are shining, I think most of the companies are still having some challenges with macroeconomy. So I would assume it's going to be like this by the end of the year. As for next year, I don't know to tell you where it's going to go, but we assume that the current situation will continue at least by the end of the year.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's yeah, thank you very much so far. Is there anything else you would like to add we haven't talked about?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to highlight that we did an 80,000 seats contract, you know, this quarter. This is the, the largest contract that we ever did. And the reason why I highlight it is because it's also a change in the perception of Monday as a company that can serve large enterprises. So if you look at the journey that we did, we invested in, I call it 5 Ps. I will explain how. We invested in the platform. This is the first P by developing MondayDB. MondayDB is an investment that we're doing in the platform to address speed, scale, and performance. So now we're at MondayDB 2.0. We finished 1.0, which was mostly around speed. Now we are looking at scale. Second thing is the products, the multi-products platform. So we have a CRM, we have work management, we have dev, and we have Monday Service that is on beta now, and it's going to be launched at the end of the year. And already we see interesting demand. The third thing is people. We are now bringing people that can sell to the enterprise, that can, go up market and have a value conversation sell rather than just feature and functionalities. But when I come to organization, I say, tell me what is your pain point, what is your problem, and let me understand how can I solve it to you, or this is how can I solve this issue for you, and this is a value sell. So this is the people. There is the part of the pitch. The pitch is to the C-level in the organization or the VPs in the organization, rather than just coming bottom up. We're also speaking with the C-level top down, and we are selling to the highest rank in the organization. And the last thing is pricing. We need to do the right pricing. So not only to price the work management platform with the additional product, but also to price each product by itself, CRM, dev, without having to buy the work management. So if I have to kind of recap it, is like the investment that we are doing in platform, in product, in people, in the pitch, in price, is something that helped us to go up market. And an 80,000 seat contract is a company that has been our customers 3 years, started with finance and R&D, and now also bought seats of, for the procurement division, for marketing, and for operations. And this is almost wall to wall. So this is something that post the 25,000, this is now more than 3x the previous largest contract. It provides us with confidence that we're doing the right thing to continue to grow the business, to invest in security, to invest in governance, to invest in SSOs, multiple SSOs, bring your own keys. These are things that matter to large organizations, to enterprises, and this is part of our journey. We'll continue to address SMBs, we continue to serve the mid-market, but we are also developing capabilities to go up market and sell to the biggest and largest customers out there.
Yeah, is it public, the name of the customer, or you keep it secret?
It's we don't have permission. It's a pharmaceutical company, one of the largest one in Europe, but we cannot say the name.
But this year you will maybe get some more larger customers in maybe in this category or around there. Is that possible?
Yeah, I think we also already have a few large contracts in the pipeline. Not everyone is 80,000 seats, obviously, but our sweet spot was 1,000 seats, and now we demonstrate that we can go and serve like bigger and bigger customers. And again, all of this is only possible because of the fact that we invested a lot in developing, the platform, the products, and the operation to support this type of contracts.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, that's yeah, I think we have it then, and yeah, I'm looking forward to our next conversation, and I think there is not in your business is not so much risk overall, because once you have those customers, you're adding more, so you don't lose them, so that you are growing net, you're adding more customers every day, right?
Yeah, so we are adding more customers, and you have to demonstrate that you bring value, and they use you for multiple use cases. And this is, in Monday, Tim, as a reminder, this is something important. It's sometimes people need to understand that we don't sell software as is, and this is what's unique about Monday. We sell building blocks. We sell the work operating systems. We provide you with all kinds of building blocks that you can build the software of your dreams. And this is why Monday is easy to use. Visualization is great. Every business out there, this is what I said, 200 industries, every business out there doesn't only have to build like the CRM or the dev. You can buy a solution or build a solution that will fit hotel chain management, like what we have, a fleet of trucks, companies that we have, construction. And this is the beauty of Monday. It fits any organization out there, every business out there. You can buy it, digitize your workflow, automate workflows. 70% of our customers are non-tech. So for us, the opportunity is really, really big out there. And we would like to invest to continue penetrate further and grow further.
Yeah. And the bigger the customer, I think the cheaper it gets per employee, right? The software. Because you have,
Yeah,
right?
you have economies of scale.
And you offer to the customer a discount because they're so large in the average, yeah. So much larger.
So
Yeah.
by the way, we have a price list. We did a price increase, as you know. We announced a price increase that it was received very well by our customers. Obviously, we expected some churn as part of every price increase, but overall, the positive reaction kind of encouraged us. ACV is growing. Our gross retention is the highest ever. So all in all, relatively good progress of this pricing. And obviously, every enterprise customer has a negotiation, but we try to stick with the price list.
And how much increase did you have?
We did around $1 to $3 of our kind of basic price. So it can be translated, depending on the case, of around 12%.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much. That is amazing. And I'm looking forward to our next conversation. And all the best to you. And I hope to see you in New York at some point again.
Definitely, Tim. Thank you very much for having me again and looking forward for next time.
Okay. Thank you, Eliran. Bye.